Hey everybody, Erica Serwin here from Pink Buckaroo Designs. I've got another Halloween treat for you using the Fright Night bundle. Featuring this bundle on my blog this week, so make sure you hop over there and check out the other projects. Inside this box is one of my family's most favorite treats, the Reese's White Pumpkin King Size. My husband was actually in here yesterday poking around trying to find something sweet, and he was so excited when he saw these, and I said, hands off, I'll give it to you after I make the video. So anyways, these are from Walmart or Target or anywhere that you buy Halloween candy. They're pretty easy to find. All right, let's make our box first. I am using Gorgeous Grape. I love Gorgeous Grape and I don't use it very often. So during Halloween time, I like to make it my Halloween purple. All right, you're gonna need a piece that is 6 3/4 by 8 3/4. And we're gonna start on the short side. We're gonna do 7/8. 3 1/8. These are actually about 7/8 of an inch thick. That's why the box is a weird measurement. 7/8, 3 1/8, 4, and 6 1/4. And then turn it to this side, and we're going to score it at 7/8 again. And this time 7 7/8. All right. Those measurements are on my blog on that free PDF. I can't remember if I've told you that or not. I've recorded several videos today and I can't remember. Okay, get your bone folder, burnish those lines, make them nice and crisp. And then we're gonna assemble. This box is gonna be open on the top. It'll be held together by ribbon. All right, so on the short side, we're gonna first, you've got a 1/2 inch section right here. That's going to where we're gonna put our adhesive. It was the I think it was the last thing that we scored on the short side. We're going to snip off that corner right there and then cut that at an angle. So basically what I've done is I've cut off that corner and then just cut off that at an angle. Okay, and then we're just gonna snip, 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 and snip, snip, snip. All right, so that's what your box looks like that. All right, I'm gonna use Stampin' Seal Plus today. Let's see if it's gonna work for me. I think it is. Put adhesive on that 1/2 inch tab and then fold it over. If you fold your box in half, it will line up. All right, fold in the sides and then the back side, and then you want to put adhesive on the front. All right, so that's your box, and we're just going to fold these over and hold them together with our ribbon. So put in your candy and close it up. Let's do our ribbon. You could do your DSP first, or you could do your ribbon. I'm thinking, you know what? I think I'm going to do it different than my sample. I think I'm going to put the paper on first and then the ribbon, because I like the ribbon to show. All right, this is our Modern Christmas Designer Series paper. I'm using the black and white patterns this week for Halloween. And then this is the Cheers and Sips Designer Series paper. That may not be the right name, but I'll have it on today's free PDF. So make sure you're looking for that. It's the one that came out in our annual catalog last spring, and it's very pretty. Timid Tiger. I think my piece might be a little bit fatter than my original, but again, no worries. All right, grab your ribbon. This is the white ribbon from the Misty Moonlight and White Ribbon Combo Pack. Any ribbon will work that coordinates. White ribbon is like your little black dress. It will go with all your projects, any occasion. Okay, tie that, and that's gonna hold our box closed. And you know what? I need to put the front on top. That way we have a nice, smooth, rounded edge. There we go, and tie your bow. Now, when your recipient opens, when my husband opens the box later, he won't have to tear it apart to get in. He just has to untie that ribbon. Okay, there's our box. Now let's make our cute tag. We are going to use both of the large images from the Fright Night bundle. And I'm going to stamp this first one. I'm actually going to stamp it twice. I'm going to stamp it once in Memento Black and once in Timid Tiger. All right, so let's get our Memento Black. I am using a stamp positioning tool, which is just a matter of preference. You don't have to. You can just use a regular block. Okay, stamp that. Then you're going to ink it up and also stamp it in Timid Tiger. I did that already so that we aren't here all day. All right, now I've got the other image on my platform, and we're going to move our paper around, and we're going to stamp this in Memento Black also. And this one, we're actually kind of creating our own little patterned paper. We're going to cut the banner out of it. If I can get my paper on here straight. There we go. Well, it's not straight, but that's okay. Inking it up in Memento Black. And let's stamp it. I have found that sometimes I need to, most of the time for this one, I need to re-ink it. So with a stamp positioning tool, that you can do that. Just make sure your ink pad is nice and juicy, and you won't have to do that. I just need to re-ink. All right, so we've got those two. We're going to cut those out. Now we're going to create this little kind of candy corn colored word that says eek. And I've got a little square of basic white. I'm going to take my Daffodil Delight and a blending brush, and I'm going to go about halfway up. Now I'm going to show you what I found. I found that if I ink the whole thing like before I cut it, I still had to add ink to it. So I'm just going to do that part, and then I'm going to add the Timid Tiger at the end. Okay. All right, let's bring that over, the cut and emboss machine over, and cut these out. This one, oh, we already have our plate. Where's our other plate? There it is. This one, I'm going to take the ink, and I'm going to have the top part close to the white up there. And then the middle will be the Daffodil Delight, and then we'll add a little bit of Timid Tiger on the bottom. All right, there we go. And if it sticks, oh, well, mine just came out. There we go. And then we'll cut out this one right here with the smaller of the two labels. Run that through, make sure you're lined up. And remember, you want to stamp another one in Timid Tiger. Now this one, we're not going to cut out with a label. I'm going to use my banner die from the Stylish Shape dies. Put that there. We're just creating some black and white, really patterned paper for our banner. Now you also need to cut out 2 basic black spider webs, and I have done that ahead of time. Just trying to simplify the video. And we've got all these pieces. Also cut out a Daffodil Delight label from using the larger. Remember, you've got 2 here. So the smaller one cuts out the image, and the larger one cuts out what's in the background. All right, let's finish this one up. Let's get our paper. And I'm going to take my Timid Tiger with a blending brush, and I'm just going to add that down along the bottom. Okay, looks like we need a little bit more. There we go. All right, so now it's kind of candy corn colored, if you will. All right, time to layer things up. Now you'll notice what I've done here is I've taken just my scissors, or you can use your trimmer, and I've cut out these 2 words, October 31st and boo. Okay, I was gonna do another one, but then I decided we were gonna layer so much stuff up that there was really no need to do that. So we're just kind of framing it out like that. All right, and then you wanna get your mini dimensionals for this. And we'll put one right there, and then one here. And then we've kind of added some color and some dimension to the image. All right, so now we're going to take our 2 spider webs. I'm going to kind of overlap them right here. And what we can do, but since we're doubling up, I'm going to take a little bit of Stampin' Seal Plus and I'm going to lay that right there. And then I'm going to get dimensionals and sandwich those dimensionals on there. And we'll put our banner that we cut right there. Now, one thing I did forget to do is put an adhesive sheet on the back of that. That would have made this so much easier to glue. But I didn't do that. So we're just gonna go with it and hope that we don't make a mess. One thing you can do is let this glue turn kind of sticky, kind of dry a little bit. That will make it less messy, but we don't have time for that. We're making a video, so we're just gonna go for it. There we go. Then add a little bit of Wink of Stella, make it glittery. I mean, let's just take it up a notch. Cute, so cute. Now the Wink of Stella will pick up the ink, so be careful when you're done. Make sure that you run it off on a scrap piece of paper to get that color out of there so that the next time you use it, you don't accidentally transfer that color. All right, we're gonna put this onto our Daffodil Delight. Label like that, bring back our box. Let's get our ribbon nice and straight, and if you sandwich that ribbon with the dimensionals, when the person unties the box, the ribbon won't fall away. It'll just stay there. I'm going to put it kind of sideways like that. And then last but not least, let's get some of our little foam stickers. And let's add a few. There we go. All right, there is your Halloween Reese's white king-sized peanut butter cups treat box holder. I don't think I could fit all that in the title, but you guys will know. All right, make sure you click on the link, go to my blog, get that free PDF, and let me know if you have questions. Thanks, everybody. Happy Halloween.